We face a profound challenge. The human family is growing. By the middle of this century, nearly 10 billion people. To feed everyone, farms must produce much more food. Some estimates, 50% more calories needed. Yet we must do this with fewer resources than ever. Less water, less land, fewer chemicals. The old ways of farming are reaching their limits. Fixed schedules in human sight are not enough. Watered by habit. Sprayed as insurance. Preventative spraying costs money and harms helpful life. Water used by the calendar, not by plant thirst. This wastes precious water. We need a new way, a smarter way. A quiet revolution is beginning. The solution may lie in the organisms we cultivate. Plants are not silent or passive. They are constantly communicating. Subtle signals, a hidden language of well-being. They can tell us when a plant is thirsty, long before leaves wilt. They can warn of insect attack or disease, well before visible damage. They can call for help to neighbors or to beneficial creatures. We're only beginning to understand this language. For the first time, we're developing technology to listen. Science gives us tools to intercept and interpret these messages. Tuning in lets us move from guesswork to precision. Farmers can act with surgical accuracy, exactly what is needed, when it's needed. This promises to save resources, save money, and reshape our relationship with nature. It's time to listen to the wisdom of plants. One of the most remarkable ways a plant communicates is through electricity. Much like the nervous system in an animal, plants transmit rapid electrical signals through their internal tissues. These are not steady currents, but rather quick changes in voltage, tiny pulses of information. These signals travel through the plant's vascular system, the network of tubes that carries water and nutrients. By the time we see a yellowing leaf or a hole eaten by a pest, the plant has already been sending distress signals for hours or days. Listening to these signals is like having an insider's view of plant health. Scientists have developed ways to eavesdrop on this electrical chatter. By placing tiny, non-invasive electrodes on a stem or leaf, they can measure minute voltage changes. It's like giving the plant an electrocardiogram, an ECG. A Swiss company, Vivent, has commercialized this idea. Their system continuously monitors electrical signals in crops like greenhouse tomatoes. The data is translated into a simple grower interface, often a traffic light system. Green means content. Yellow signals low stress. Pay attention. Orange means something's beginning to go wrong. The software can learn to tell an insect attack from a fungal infection. That lets the farmer react with precision. Targeted, gentle interventions instead of broad-spectrum treatments. Early action can stop a small problem from ruining a crop, saving yield and cutting chemical costs. It becomes a conversation between the grower and the grown. Plants also communicate through the air, using a complex vocabulary of smells. When a plant is healthy and unstressed, it releases a baseline mixture of airborne molecules. These are called volatile organic compounds, VOCs. The plant releases VOCs, and a nearby beneficial insect detects them. However, when a plant is attacked, the fragrant message changes dramatically. If a caterpillar begins to chew on a leaf, the plant releases a new blend of VOCs into the air. The new scent serves multiple purposes. It acts as a cry for help that can travel within the same plant, preparing distant leaves for a potential attack. It is a warning to neighboring plants, a message that danger is near. This airborne language is remarkably sophisticated. Different stresses produce different aromatic signatures. The scent for a fungal infection is distinct from the scent released during a drought. These smells can act as beacons for allies. Some VOCs attract predatory insects, such as parasitic wasps that prey on the pests. The plant is, in essence, calling for bodyguards. This intricate web shows plants are active participants in their ecosystem, constantly sending and receiving information to protect themselves and their community. Modern technology is giving us a nose sensitive enough to decipher these smells. Devices known as electronic noses or e-noses can be deployed in fields and in greenhouses. These machines have an array of chemical sensors that can detect thousands of different VOCs in the air. By using artificial intelligence and machine learning, the e-nose can be trained to recognize the specific smell print of a particular threat. It learns what a healthy crop smells like and can immediately detect subtle shifts that signal a pest like a spider mite or a disease like powdery mildew. This provides another layer of early warning for farmers. In a controlled environment like a greenhouse, this technology can be transformative. An e-nose can continuously sniff the air, acting as a tireless sentinel. If it detects the telltale scent of a looming infestation, it can automatically alert the grower's smartphone. This allows for immediate action. The dialogue of plants does not stop at the surface. A rich and complex conversation takes place underground, hidden from our view. A plant's root system is not just an anchor or a straw for drinking water. It is an active, communicative interface with the world of the soil. Roots constantly release a complex cocktail of chemical compounds into the surrounding earth. This mixture, known as root exudates, contains sugars, amino acids, specialized signaling molecules. These substances profoundly shape the environment directly around the roots, an area known as the rhizosphere. It is here that the plant cultivates its own unique community of microscopic life. Through these chemical messages, a plant can recruit helpful partners from the soil. It can send out signals that attract beneficial fungi known as mycorrhizae. These fungi form a symbiotic relationship with the roots, extending their reach far into the soil, helping the plant absorb vital nutrients like phosphorus, nitrogen. In return, the plant provides the fungi with sugars. The plant can also use its root exudates to encourage the growth of specific bacteria that can protect it from disease-causing pathogens. It is, in effect, farming microbes to help it stay healthy and well-fed, managing its own subterranean ecosystem. Understanding this underground communication is crucial for sustainable agriculture. For decades, farming has focused primarily on the chemistry of the soil, adding synthetic fertilizers to provide nutrients directly. This approach often overlooks the biological health of the soil. By listening to the conversations happening in the rhizosphere, we can adopt a more holistic approach. Scientists can now sample the soil around a plant's roots and analyze the chemical signals and microbial populations present. This information can tell a farmer if the plant is successfully recruiting the allies it needs, or if the soil community is out of balance. This knowledge allows for entirely new strategies for improving crop health. Instead of just adding more nitrogen fertilizer, a farmer might introduce a specific consortium of beneficial microbes to the soil. These microbes, encouraged by the plant's own signals, can help unlock nutrients that are already present in the soil, but are in a form the plant cannot use. This reduces the need for synthetic fertilizers, which are energy-intensive to produce and can pollute waterways. By paying attention to the plant's needs below ground, we can foster healthier soils that are more resilient, more fertile, and better able to support strong, productive crops. Simply knowing that plants are sending signals is not enough. We need the tools to translate their language into actionable information. A new generation of technology is emerging to do just that. Beyond electrodes that measure electrical pulses, scientists are developing more integrated methods. One promising approach: sentinel plants that visually report stress. Interplant, for example, links stress response to a harmless fluorescent protein via genetic engineering. That protein is invisible under normal sunlight. Sentinel plants are planted in small, strategic plots inside larger conventional fields. When a fungus attacks, when plants are starved for nitrogen, the sentinel's defenses kick in. Activation triggers fluorescent protein production. The plants emit a specific glow. That glow is detected by specialized cameras on drones, on tractors, and even by satellites. A farmer can scan the field from the air and get a precise map showing problems days or weeks earlier. Another approach: nanotechnology. Researchers, e.g. MIT, developed tiny carbon sensors infused into leaves. These nanoparticles detect specific molecules, like ones indicating drought stress or a pollutant. When the molecule is present, the sensors change optical properties. A handheld meter or a smartphone with a special filter can read that change for an instant diagnosis. These technologies are moving from lab to field. They change how we gather crop information. Instead of soil samples or weather forecasts, we can now ask the plant itself. That gives real-time, localized data. A grower can know the northeast corner needs water while the rest is fine. Resources can be applied not by the acre, but by the plant. The practical applications of listening to plants are not just theoretical. They are already delivering tangible economic and operational benefits. Fungal diseases are a constant threat to farmers. Downy mildew rust costing the agricultural industry billions of dollars in lost yields and treatment costs each year. The traditional response is preventative spraying. Farmers apply fungicides across entire fields on a fixed schedule, hoping to prevent an outbreak. This just-in-case approach is expensive and often unnecessary. It is a costly insurance policy paid for with chemicals. Sentinel plant technology directly addresses this inefficiency. Companies have shown fluorescent sentinel plants can provide a reliable early warning up to 2 weeks before visual symptoms appear. When drones fly over and the sentinels are not glowing, the farmer receives a powerful message: all clear. They can confidently skip a scheduled spray. For a large farm, eliminating just one unnecessary fungicide application across thousands of acres can result in savings. Eliminating 2 can multiply those savings, tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single growing season. It is a direct and immediate return on investment. The benefits extend to managing other critical resources, especially in controlled environments, greenhouses, vertical farms. These operations are highly energy-intensive. Lighting climate control account for a huge portion of costs. By using electrophysiology to monitor plant signals, growers can precisely determine when plants have received enough light for optimal photosynthesis. The system can then automatically dim the lights, saving significant electricity without compromising growth. Early trials have demonstrated energy savings of 10 to 15%. A major boost to profitability. Water usage can also be optimized with stunning efficiency. Traditional irrigation is often based on measuring soil moisture, not the actual hydration state of the plant. A plant's electrical signals can indicate thirst long before the soil becomes critically dry. By watering only when plants signal they need it, farmers can achieve substantial savings. Studies have shown this approach can reduce water consumption by 10 to 30%. For high-value crops like wine grapes, applying precise water stress at the right time can concentrate the fruit's sugars and compounds, leading to a richer, more desirable flavor profile. The impact of this new agricultural conversation extends far beyond the farmer's balance sheet. It holds immense promise for the health of our planet. Ambitious environmental goals are on the table, like the EU's plan to cut pesticides and fertilizers by 2030. Pesticide use by 50%, fertilizer use by 20%. These targets seem daunting with current farming methods. Achieving them without sacrificing yield is one of our great challenges. Phytosensing, the art of listening to plants, offers a practical pathway. It lets farmers move away from heavy chemical inputs toward intelligent, targeted intervention. Replacing routine, broad-spectrum spraying with precise, data-driven applications yields immediate, profound environmental benefits. Dramatically cutting pesticide use, dramatically cutting fungicide use reduces chemical runoff into rivers and streams, protecting aquatic ecosystems. It also means healthier soils, where beneficial insects, earthworms, and microbial communities thrive. Those organisms form the foundation of a resilient agricultural system. When we stop harming them with indiscriminate chemicals, they perform vital functions, pollinating crops, breaking down organic matter, fighting off soil-borne diseases. This supports biodiversity and long-term ecological stability. Healthier soils capture and store more carbon, helping mitigate climate change. Cutting nitrogen fertilizer use is another big climate win. Fertilizer production is energy-intensive and emits greenhouse gases. Excess nitrogen in fields can be converted by microbes into nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas nearly 300 times more powerful than CO2. Giving plants only the nutrients they need when they need them cuts these harmful emissions. Ultimately, phytosensing fosters a more harmonious relationship between agriculture and nature. It shifts us from treating farms like factory floors to managing and nurturing ecosystems. By listening to plants, we work with natural cycles rather than against them. The result is a food system that is more efficient and profitable and more sustainable and regenerative, so our land can feed generations to come. Despite its enormous potential, the road to a future of responsive agriculture is not without its obstacles. One of the most significant challenges is scale. While attaching an electrode to every single plant in a 1,000-acre cornfield is currently impractical, the use of sentinel plots and remote sensing by drones offers a viable path forward. However, broad adoption of these technologies will require substantial investment, innovation in automation, and time for the industry to adapt. The hardware must become cheaper and more robust, and the software must become more powerful and user-friendly before it can become a standard tool for the average farmer. Another major hurdle lies in the complex and often inconsistent web of global regulations. The rules governing genetically engineered crops, for example, vary dramatically from one country to another. In the United States, a fluorescent sentinel plant that contains no foreign DNA but simply has its own genes rearranged might face a relatively straightforward path to approval. In the European Union, however, stricter regulations on genetic modification could significantly slow down or even prevent its adoption. This regulatory patchwork creates uncertainty for technology companies and can prevent farmers in some regions from accessing powerful new tools. Perhaps the most sensitive issues revolve around data and trust. As farms become more connected, they generate vast amounts of information. Who owns the data coming from a plant's signals? Is it the farmer who owns the land and the crop? Or is it the technology company that provides the sensors and the analytical software? The legal framework for agricultural data ownership is still in its infancy. Farmers are understandably wary that their private operational data could be sold to third parties or used to manipulate commodity markets. Building trust will require transparent contracts that clearly define data rights and ensure that the farmer remains in control. Public perception and ethical considerations also play a crucial role. There is a persistent public apprehension surrounding genetically modified organisms, often fueled by misinformation. Companies developing sentinel plants must engage in clear and honest communication, explaining how the technology works and emphasizing its benefits for food safety and the environment. Similarly, concerns about big tech gaining too much control over our food supply are valid and must be addressed. The success of this revolution will depend not only on the quality of the science, but on building a foundation of public trust and ensuring that the benefits are shared equitably across the entire food system. We stand at the beginning of a new era in our long history with the land. Imagine fields dotted with sentinel plants, acting as biological watchtowers, constantly monitored by satellites. Imagine intelligent drones that do not just see problems, but can act on them, delivering a microdose of a specific treatment to a single ailing plant. Picture greenhouses where the lights adjust themselves in real time. Water adjusts itself in real time. Nutrients adjust themselves in real time, responding directly to the silent electrical whispers of the crops within. This is not science fiction. This is the vision of responsive agriculture, a closed-loop system where plants tell us what they need. Machines listen and act. Growers guide the entire process. This transformation will reshape the economics of farming. Sensors and hardware are vital, but the most valuable asset will be the information itself. The true power will lie in the vast libraries of signal data and the sophisticated AI that can interpret them. A company that can say what a specific 5 Hz electrical wave in a wheat plant means, or what scent a tomato plant emits 2 weeks before a blight appears. Those companies will hold the keys to this new agricultural kingdom. Policymakers have a critical role to play in this transition by creating clear regulations for these new technologies and establishing fair data ownership laws that protect and empower farmers. Listening to plants is more than just a technological innovation. It represents a philosophical shift in our relationship with the natural world. For centuries, humanity sought to dominate nature with machines and chemicals. We treated the earth and its plants as passive resources to be exploited. Now we can move from a monologue of command to a dialogue of cooperation, working in partnership with the life we cultivate to build a more productive, equitable, and sustainable food system. The challenge of feeding 10 billion people without breaking our planet is immense, but we are not without hope. The answers are all around us, written in a language we are only just learning to read. Plants do talk. They speak in pulses of electricity. They speak in wafts of scent. They speak in chemical messages sent through the soil. We now have the tools to listen. These tools can help us save money. These tools can conserve water. These tools can protect the environment. The path ahead requires investment. The path ahead requires collaboration. The path ahead requires trust.